Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. This is another shaky cam interior review from the Driving in Wyoming podcast. Today we are in a 2014 Lexus IS350 F Sport. This is the all-wheel drive version. This is a great sports sedan. Very, very quick, 0 to 60 in about, I think it's 5.5 seconds or so. And just a very plush ride with a lot of sport. Very, very sporty car. A lot of fun to drive. So, price tag on this is hovering right around $50,000 as we sit in it. That's with every option available as far as I know. So, we'll just do the usual. Start over here. Windows and mirrors, of course, door locks. And coming over here, you'll see the faux leather plastic, very well done. Lexus pretty much has that down. Down here, you'll see odometer numbers or settings and your lighting on the instruments. Down here, blind spot management control. No other buttons in there right now. Trunk release is right there. Hood release right there. Coming up and over, I'm going to show you the steering wheel before I show you the instruments because they have a lot, they work together a lot. So here's your dongle. I want to show you this. Let me get it so that you can see what's going on up there. You notice when I turn on the turn signal, this did not stay in place. And then you touch it to turn it off. If you do it slow, if you do just a touch, it just does the 3 blinks for lane changes. Very neat little thing. It takes 1 second to get used to because you're used to having it hold in place. But it's a kind of a neat thing, and it's one of those things that makes this car unique. Paddle shifting, of course. Here's your audio controls phone. And over here is more controls, including this button, which we'll get to again in a minute. And the dongle for, cruise control. And over here, wiper washers. There you go. All right, I'm going to show you this instrument cluster. Now, you notice it's extremely simple. You have digital readout for your speed. This is your tachometer. There's the red line for it. I'll show you something in a second with that, too. Here's fuel. This is your trip. I've got it set to the trip rather than showing the vehicle's mileage. Engine heat. Outdoor, outside heat, you can that temperature that can change, and then you have some lights that show up over here as indicators for things. Now, when I push this button on the steering wheel, you see that slides out of the way, and then you have this screen. This is a multi-screen. You can control it. You see the different automatic options up here. You control it right here, so you can flip through those and show different things. That's what's on the music right now. There are no major messages. Here's where you can set to customize the thing. And then back to the beginning. It shows miles per gallon. This car's rated much better than what I've been getting, but I've been driving it like a stolen sports car. I have not been very nice to this car. And when you shut the engine off or push that button again, it slides back into place and goes back to where it was. Now you notice when it's open, all that stuff that was over here quickly shows up over here. Here's your fuel and outside temperature and so forth. Everything moves so that it's still there, but this moved out of the way. Very cool little thing. Also, I will show you where this control is in a minute, but you have 4 different drive settings here. Right now, we are in, there's eco mode, normal mode. Now, those two, the major difference there is eco mode dampens the air conditioning and a few other things to make the car a little more fuel efficient. Normal mode is just normal driving. Then you have sport mode. Sport mode here says fuel efficiency be damned. I want to go as fast as I can, but it doesn't change much else. So it changes a few things in the engine, electronics and whatnot. Sport Plus tightens up the suspension and really makes this a very, very well-handling sports car. But that means that if you're on the highway and you leave it in this mode, you will feel every bump, every divot, everything. So sport mode is fun when you're accelerating or when you're driving through town and you need you need a little bit harder cornering and you like that feel. But I would recommend that when you get on the highway, you either go to normal or eco mode for cruising, just because it softens suspension, makes it feel much better to ride. So moving on, that's just some of that. There's a lot more. Interior's everything in a luxury car. Here's the start button. This is keyless, of course. Right. Had an interruption there, so we'll start where we left off. This is the infotainment screen. It feels like it's very hard to reach, but that's because it is not a touch screen, so you don't need to reach it. Everything is controlled by the usual Lexus mouse. I'll show you that in 1 minute. That makes this Toyota system much easier to use in a lot of ways. It improves it in many, many ways. Toyota needs to realize that. So we come down, and of course, this is the only clock in the car unless you change settings there or on your dash, which is fine by me, and it's a nice analog clock. It's very easy to read no matter where you are in the car. Vents, of course. Down here you have climate controls. This is very straightforward. I really like this system. It's very, very well set up, easy to reach and touch and know what you're getting at. Here's the radio and so forth. So you have your tuning and your CD player here, and etc., etc. Down here, it's a Mark Levinson system, which is Lexus's premium, and it's very well done. Sounds very good in this car. It's just it's one of those things where the car is the right size for the number of speakers they've got. Everything just matches. Here you see bun warmers for the seats. The shifter here, which is the standard, except one thing I'll show you. Rather than just going straight up and down, it is more like shifting a car. It moves back and forth a lot. That's pretty cool because it gives you a little more of that sport feel when you're driving this car. It gives you a little bit of that sport feel. And you can go into manual here if you don't want to use the paddle shifters, which is kind of neat. Now here's the mouse I was talking about. You have your menu fast jump control, so you can go to the home screen or your menu screen for wherever you are. And then this moves around to select, push up and down to select. Or you can do it with this very quickly. Here is another thing I wanted to show you. This is where I was setting the drive controls. This seems like a dumb spot for it until you use it, and then it's a great spot because if you're like me, you're tuning this all the time. So you're maybe you're just jumping over to eco mode because you're on the highway, and then you're going into sport mode because you're in town and you want to fly around the corners a little bit and stuff. Then of course traction control and snow control. These two, since it's all-wheel drive, it has snow control. These two are well placed because they're not easy to bump. It seems like they would be, but it turns out they're not because they're flush, so you don't hit them very often. And the usual way too small drink holders that is common in most Lexus vehicles. And then I'll show you some of the quick trim things. Here you see more of that faux leather, very well done. That's a nice little touch up there to kind of offset what would otherwise be a blank space, give it a little more premium feel. And then you see this faux carbon fiber. This is throughout the car. You'll see it there, you see it there, and you see this brushed nickel look on here to go with it, and more over here. Very, very well done car. It's very pretty. I'll show you the seating. I might be moving the camera too fast, making people sick, but anyway. Very good leather. It's perforated, well done, very soft, and for a sports car, exceedingly comfortable. Highly adjustable, both on the passenger and the driver's side. Very adjustable seating. Nicely done. It's very comfortable. The back seat, I would not give it so many props. We have car seat. You'll see that we have car seats in there, but the back seat is a decent size for a mid-size sedan, but not huge. There you go. That's about it. This is the 2014 Lexus IS350 F Sport in all-wheel drive. Very nice premium car. As usual, well done Lexus vehicle here. It's in a beautiful red. It's a very sporty car. So you'll read more about this car as I write reviews at different outlets and republish them on AaronOnAutos.com. So this has been Aaron, another Driving in Wyoming Shaky Cam podcast. Talk to you soon.